Sometimes when we touch, closing out positions ain't enough. When they don't fill, we get really upset. We don't actually get that upset, but let's look at this Valero. We were trying to close our 10 put contracts, and they still haven't closed, so I was going to look at this again. Let's take a look at it now. We have 10 contracts. If we put in the 4 to 2, that's $420. Why is that not closing? I'd like to close it, please. For $420. Let's just put it on the board again and see what happens here. If it happens, that would be great. So then we could, oh, boom, done. See, sometimes you just got to roll out the barrel and shake things back up. So we did fill that. We bought those back for $420. So let's go back and do that math, because I think it was it $1,330? Yeah, that was it. It's $1,330 we collected. $1,330 minus the $420 that we just paid to buy those contracts back. Just had a monster sneeze. Hopefully I covered my $2 microphone. Geez, can you clear your throat before you get on air? Is this air? Yeah, I think internet's air, right? So we put $910 in our pocket. Is that correct? No, $1,330. That doesn't sound like the right math. Let's go back to the actual math. Okay, it's off the board, so we got to go to history. Don't know much. Don't sing your darn history song. Don't know much about history. Yeah. So that shows our $420 that we just spent, right? We bought those 10 contracts closed. Those were $118 puts. And you're probably saying, well, why not just let that ride? It could, and it probably would never go down to $118 strike price. But it is 10 contracts at $118. So that's $118,000 of collateral that they were holding. No, that was the right number. So that was the money we received when we sold it, $1,330. So let's go back to the math just to make sure we're clacking the right numbers. $1,330 minus the $420 we just bought it back. Now it's 2 days ago. So we profited $910. So that is our net profit on this trade. But we need to see, what is the math? How does this look annualized? Because in my busy brain, that's what I like to factor in as far as taking these types of risks for the trades that we are doing here live on the Wealth Snowball. So it's $910, but it's divided by $118,000 because that's the collateral that we had to cough up for the trade. So that is almost 1% return, but it's in 2 days. Only 2 days? Yes, only 2 days. So then we divide it by 2. Divide by 2. Now we annualize it. So now we got a per day return, per diem. And then we multiply that by 365 days. And that gives us 140% return. Now, this is not a normal return. Returns may vary. Yes, they will, because all we ever look for is 20% plus as far as on these trades regarding the annualized return. Now, this is kind of fantasy math. We put the trade on just 2 days ago because Valero was inauspiciously down. It didn't make sense as to why Valero was down so much 2 days ago. So I put those 10 contracts in play on the put side down at $118 because that's when you're going to be able to get the best premium on a put when a stock is down, when the underlying is down, when the asset is down. Hopefully you watched me do it live because I try to do as many of these live as possible. Obviously it's a recording. Is it live or is it Memorex? But I am recording it and then I try to upload those shortly after I record them because I have to do a little bit of a dipsy-do in order to use YouTube effectively and efficiently with my internet out here in the farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana, because I do have the tree service. I have my satellite dish literally strapped to a tree on my 40-acre property out here. It's on the south tree line. And the reason is because there's no good internet service that is wired to my area, because we're, a little bit rural, even though we're just 6 minutes from everything in the heart of Valparaiso. So what was I trying to say? I was trying to say that I have to do a dipsy do on these videos. So I use this vidyard, however you pronounce it. Actually it's a free Chrome extension. I pay for the upgraded, which was still dirt cheap, which allows me an unlimited number of video recordings. But then all I have to do is hit upload. After it records, I hit upload to my YouTube channel that is attached to it, and then it basically uploads it for me. If I was creating these videos like I should be doing and putting a little more effort into them, and I will one day, I promise you that I will do that one day, then I'd have to upload it from my own internet, which then takes hours, because I've done that before. So that's my hack and workaround. That was just one of my tangents. I have no idea why that came up, except for the fact that we made 140% annualized on this trade. 1330 minus 420 equals $910 in our pocket. So that pretty much covers my day as far as Sparkle's spa visit and her hairstyle, cut, color, style. Plus, we went to the grocery store today because Coco's in town, and we wanted to make sure we had the coffers full for my little angel, my little sweetheart, because she is a bit of a health nut, I would say. She loves to work out, and so she eats clean, and I do as well. Most all of us here do for the most part, but she eats the cleanest of them all. So we wanted to make sure we had plenty of her style food in the house, and she is home now. But she spent like 10 minutes here talking to me, and then she's like, my boyfriend's on the way to pick me up. So her boyfriend goes to IU, Indiana University, and Coco goes to Purdue. They're both health nuts, and then she was accompanying him to the grocery store because he wanted to fill his own coffers for his health nut food. This is just a whole video about you just rambling on about your personal life. I think I'm just like giddy from her being home, and the fact that we just made $910 on that trade, which covers my Meijer grocery store visit today and Sparkle's spa visit, which she's at currently, and then her hairstyle, which begins at 3 p.m. So I got that going for me. Let's go back to the board just to see what's happening. And then and you see what happened here with our buying power. It went up dramatically. Hopefully you can't hear me clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. You know what else? I was looking at deer. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Let's see what's up. What? Oh, wait, Costco. Let's go back to Costco first. Oh, yes, Mr. Costco is going back downtown to Chinatown for us. So we might make a play on Costco right now because I think it is oversold. I think it's not over gold, right, Bart? No, oversold. If you know the term OG over gold, then, well, you're probably pretty cool from a movie in the 90s. So let's go to Costco. I don't know if we've ever made a play on Costco, have we? Let's go to Costco and see what we can do on the put side of things. Trade Costco, sell put. Let's go out a week just to see what the dollar bills look like, because Costco usually doesn't have much volatility. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to make a move for a week. So if you look at the volatility, 21% there, and that's at a 35 delta. Let's go out 2 weeks, 15 days, see what we can do with our Action Jackson. I still don't like those numbers. Let's go out 3 weeks, 22 days. Rolling, rawhide. The 470 is in the ballpark, right? It's in the ballpark, but still, let's go out 29 days. So basically we'd be annualizing this trade 12 times to give us our return for the year. I like that one. I like this right here. 465, collect 475. It is a 24 delta. So Ricky Henderson's number throughout most of his career was number 24. So it's one of my favorite numbers of all time. So we got that. 24% implied volatility. Pretty low, 465 on the Costco. Let's go ahead and put that in play. It's 29 days out. See if we can't get ourselves a cash secured put. In fact, we might be able to get $5 bills. We might be able to get 500 on this trade. Let's see if that's possible. $46,500 in collateral. I'd love for it to just fill right now. And there it is. Okay, so Fantasyland math coming right up. And it's 29 days out. So we won't even do the divided by, because we'll just, what is the average month? Just it's like 30.3 days. So we will err on the side of conservative, and we will look at this trade straight up annualized times 12. So $500 divided by 46,500 equals 1.07%, and then we'll just multiply that by 12. So we would be at 12.9%. Hey, you said you like to be at 20. Oh, I told you, I learn as I go. But I feel that this trade on the Costco, I feel this trade is pretty conservative, because Costco is a fairly conservative stock. And in fact, let's go over to our friends at Seeking Alpha just to see how it looks. So what were we at? If we were at $465 bills, right? So that would be our worst case scenario, is we were put those shares, we were assigned those shares, we were forced to buy those shares at $465. Now, based on their current annual dividend of 360, because they don't have they have a paltry dividend yield, but it's still a dividend yield. So we like that. So if we take the $360 right there, $3.60, and we divide it by what we would have to pay if we were assigned those shares at 365, then that doesn't seem right. Where's my math off? It's 465, isn't it? Too many numbers in my head, and I told you I'm very simple-minded. So it is 465. That's why that was such a fantasy land math there. And so we're at $3.60 on the annual payout on the dividend. So this is how we can determine what a yield would be. So $3.60 annual payout going forward, divided by $465 that we would have to pay in the worst case scenario, and we would be at 0.00774. So we would be at 774, and they're currently at 0.72. So what does 774 tell us as far as their yield history? The yield history is, oh my goodness. You really should do a little more research before you make these trades. You're probably right. I still feel good about this trade, even though the dividend yield theory tells us that Costco is way overpriced right now. What a dope you are. Well, that's okay. I've learned the most from the mistakes I've made. I know, but it costs us a lot of money in the meantime. So let's take a look though at Costco over here on our friend's website, and that is our friends at Alpha Spread. What does Alpha Spread say? They say they're overvalued by, what is this? Get this out of here. They're overvalued by 19%. I beg to differ, because I do feel like if we start to slide a bit, that money is going to be running to some more safe stocks. It'll obviously be running to the treasuries and collecting that 4% interest, things of that nature. But Costco is historically a very sound, fundamentally strong company. So I still feel good, even though I should have done a little bit more research on Costco before I coughed up my $46,500. That's okay. We'll watch it live. We'll do it live. We like to do that together. And of course, it's still going down as we speak, but that's okay. That is all right for right now, because it's going to bounce back next week, and then we're going to roll out of that trade, and we're going to stuff a few dollars in our pocket. What do you say? I say, I believe you, Bart. But for now, we're going to let it go. We cleared that Valero. Do we want to make another move on Deere? Oh, dear. It's still dropping. We might. So we'll come back and look at that in just a moment. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.